Skyblock YouTuber here, doing your everyday Skyblock videos, like making an anime tier list for winter 2024 because they don't have any more content to upload because Skyblock is kind of dead. Anyways, I don't want to repeat myself too much for these shows that have two cores. So I'm gonna just go by them very fast. Free Run obviously still S tier. Free Run's second half, part two, whatever you want to call it. It focuses more on like the whole battle shonen arc thing that I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's still Free Run. Come on, I love the character dynamics and the new characters they introduce are amazing too. I still enjoy like basically every new character that is introduced so far. So yeah, that part you can't really take away from Free Run. Like they all just have amazing character dynamics with one another, just as season one is. Obviously, the ending's amazing. Not gonna say too much about it, but yeah. Hitorigoto no no Kuzuria no Hitorigoto, or Apothecary Diaries. Once again, I don't want to repeat myself from last time, but love Mama's expressions. The second I finished watching the first episode, I immediately read all the manga because it's amazing. And oh my god, part two covers one of my favorite arcs from like just all of anime, honestly. And it's the arc with the father. I'm not gonna say anything more past that. You know what I'm talking about if you watch this. But the whole father arc and going to buy the thing, buy the thing. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, love that arc. Amazing arc. Obviously, Shangri-La. It's season one's magic kind of died a little on me. The more I watch, the more it's just like, oh, this is just like it's all action. There's no real plot. I mean, like it was like that in part one too, but like I don't know. There was a whole story with like Setsuna and like the whole like samurai thing. I'm not the biggest fan of that story because you could really tell the author didn't put in too much effort with the story, and still the main draw of the show is the action, and I'm not the biggest fan of action, but it's definitely not a bad show, and for a basically action only show, I actually enjoyed it like a decent bit, so I'm not gonna give it too much flack for it, I suppose. Now, Dangers in my heart. This is probably the best show this season. Well, last season, I suppose, but yeah. Uh, I don't know, man. Because okay, maybe not above Free Run, but like if you're talking like just part two of Free Run, then yeah, I think Dangers in My Heart is better because Dangers in My Heart, it's like the peak of what a show. I mean, it's like the peak of what a standard romance is. Like they do not do anything special, yet they're able to make like the just oh my god, the episodes just keep peaking at one after the other, bro. Like I thought like the first episode of season two when it came out, man. Oh my god, that episode hit so hard, and then and like two episodes later, it peaks even higher. Another episode later, it peaks even higher. Like it just keeps getting better. Like I don't understand how the show can just keep getting better. The plot's like so the plot and the characters are all like so generic, but like the way that the author tells these stories and I, I don't know. It's an amazing show. You should definitely watch it. It's definitely very I don't know. I wouldn't say underrated because a lot of people know about it, but like the concept isn't anything special, but it really does a great job with it. So yeah, Clash of the Elite season three. I want to say A tier. Listen, I really didn't like season two. They butchered like probably the best scene in the light novel, which is the whole rooftop scene, right? And it did in like some creepy basement. I don't care, bro. But season three, first of all, the animation's gotten like actually functional. Oh my god, you should have seen the season two's animation, man. It was so terrible. But yeah, season three, that I didn't really see any glaring issues with the animation. I mean, obviously, some characters still look a little off, in my opinion, especially Kay. But it's fine because God, the story that they adapt for part three. I mean, season three is oof, at the chess battle. Oh my God, It's so good. I mean, obviously, the light somehow in a book with basically all words, the book made the chess battle more interesting than the anime. But like, that's not to take anything away from the anime because that scene is like amazing. But like, my gripe is that they skip so much just so they could finish the year off by the third season. Like, I get that you don't want to make like a whole another season because a budget and stuff, but like they just skipped so much. Like they didn't care about any of the other games during the whole chess thing, right? Like chess isn't the only game, but they literally skipped like basically everything. They skipped over like most of the basketball fight scene, which was like very crucial to a certain character's dynamic with another character that I won't say for year two the light novels, but yeah, they also skipped that, and also they skipped out my favorite, one of the funniest parts, which is the hot springs scene, the T-Rex size thing. If you read the light novel, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that entire joke got skipped, man. Like, I know it's not very important, but the light novel community loves that scene. It's funny. But anyways, you can't really like mess up that badly adapting and season three is what I'm trying to get at. Like it's definitely rushed, the animation isn't the best, but it's still A because the source material is just insane. Also, oh my god, you know what? Screw K. As a light novel reader, I didn't really like K. K was my favorite character, well, favorite girl in Clashing of the Elite for like the longest time in a light novel. But since the anime, like Arisu's just way above her because I don't like I don't like how they portray K in the anime. It's very different from how I imagined her to be from the light novel. But and I already like Arisu anyways. Like they were very neck and neck, But like after season three, I definitely like Arisu way more than K, man, especially in the anime. Oh my god, Arisu is just like the perfect waifu. Okay, anyways. Banish from the Heroes Party. I now wonder. No. Banish from the Hero. I don't know. Something like that. Something Banish from the Heroes Party. I live a peaceful life. I don't remember. The title's way too long. But anyways, season two. As compared to season one. I actually prefer season one a little bit more. I want to say. Let's say it's like top of B. Um, I like me a lot of slice of life stuff, and season one was mostly slice of life, but season two, I feel like they focus a lot more on like the world lore and uh like these new characters, right? And they expand a lot upon the system in which like the god gave them these like powers and like that's their only path in life. Like they go a lot more in depth, but like they briefly covered it with the sister in season one, but like that was like towards the end of the series. You didn't get to see much, but season two really explored it more. But like on the second hand, right? It also ended up ruining a lot of the slice of life elements that I enjoyed from it. So I say it's a B. Yeah. Tsukimichi season two. Oh my god, the author just keeps blue balling us with not letting the main character meet the other heroes, and like I do really think Tsukimichi season two is like definitely a step up from season one because season one season one it does feel very generic like most of the time, but season two really makes the show like stand out a lot more, adding these other heroes that they seem more human, I suppose, compared to other isekai heroes or whatever, right? Where they have another hero, but they're like all cartoonishly evil or cartoonishly good or something like along the lines of that, right? Like these heroes, like they aren't like all powerful. Like they one of them is just straight up being manipulated, and one of them loses their closest comrade. And like, what the heck? Anyways, well, sorry. What was I saying? Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Season two really expanded, and it greatly expanded on the world as well. So yeah. Level 99 villainous. I say B, but like I honestly this is a very underrated show for me. In my opinion, I actually really like the show because you never really see. I'm giving it an A. I'm giving it a low A. Because I think this show is very much underrated. They I don't think I can even think of another show with a female, like a non-shoujo with a female lead. That's a first of all kudere, which I love kuderes. And second of all, a female lead that's overpowered and also actually has a love interest. I can't think of any other shows with that, which is very unique. I mean, the one problem everyone has with this show is kind of the CGI and stuff, which like I get, but like it's far in between. You don't really get a lot of those stuff, and they don't really matter that much to the story. Because what I like about this show is the character dynamics, especially between the main girl and the love interest that I'm speaking of, which I won't say, even though it should be pretty obvious. But and also I do like the hero too. The ending's definitely very rushed though. There's no way the light novel ended it like that, right? Like they literally just did like everything at the end. But other than that, yeah, I'll put it in B because it is a very rushed ending and it does have some CGI issues. But other than that, it is very underrated in my opinion. Anyways, the wrong way to use healing magic. A lot of people have been saying how this show is like very underrated, very good for an isekai. Honestly, in my opinion, it kind of just is a generic isekai, man. Like I get that it doesn't have like over like fan service, I suppose. The main character isn't really overpowered per se, but like things just like very conveniently go his way for some reason, which is just like, in the end, it's still kind of like overpowered. And also he is overpowered. Like I mean he trained for it, yeah, sure, but like I don't know. I don't think it really stands out as much as people think it does. And honestly, for a lot of the show, it's pretty boring. I do like that the main female hero is like a secret otaku. That was funny at first, but like, it kind of died out too. Hokkaido girls are kind of are cute or something like that. I actually really hated the show. I watched the first episode. I dropped this right after that, man. Like it is. I'm not into Garus. Okay, that's the biggest issue. I'm not into Garus, and yeah, I'm just not into the show. Dungeon Meshi. Actually, this show is very very good. At first I thought it was good because of the dungeon crawling thing, and the world building, which they did excellent job of world building with food at that. Like, oh my, it's such a genius way to build up a dungeon, an environment, like a society, I suppose, just inside these dungeons with food. Um, but once you reach like episode 12, oh my god, man, they can tell some amazing stories too. Honestly, this thing might even deserve S tier, but I think I'm gonna hold off on that for now, and I'll just put in A. Gekairis, C tier. It's just another villainous show. I mean, what can I say? I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan. The main girl is very like classic shoujo. Main guy's also very classic shoujo. It's just this very shoujo show, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I get it's appealing for guys, so yeah, let's see for me. This show, honestly, going into it, going even the first episode, it was pretty good. The first episode, right? But my issue, I dropped the show after like 5 episodes, by the way. But my issue with this show is that they just keep reusing the same joke, like. Come on, think of some better jokes, please. It's funny the first few times, but like the princess just it's always the same formula every single episode. Like they try to be the Sleepy Princess one, right? But Sleepy Princess one's amazing. They do something very different each episode. That's smart. This series, it's like she caves in instantly, and it right after they show like something fun that she would miss out on, or something good to eat if they miss out on. I have no idea how this got a season two. I don't know. It's so formulaic. I'm not a biggest fan of it. Now this show, it's definitely one of the shows of all time. I would tell you, I would tell you how much it is one of the shows of all time. Uh, Basically, this guy is like a massive off hot spring fanatic, and he just makes every girl he meets go into the hot spring with him, and it's just like, yeah, it's one of the shows of all time. Ishura, this is just nonsense fighting, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but the animation is pretty great, and there's decent potential for some story here. I have this on hold. I think I would go back on it, but like I wouldn't say I dropped this yet because I do kind of want to go back on it. The action scenes are like decent, and I do like the characters at least so far that I've seen. Fluffy Paradise or something like that. I don't remember. God, this show is probably the worst show this season. This is one of the first shows that aired, and is one of the worst ones, man. Oh my, it's like this 20, maybe 30-year-old girl, office lady who reincarnate, and then she just acts like a 5-year-old the entire series. Like, bro, I do not want to see a like 20, 30-year-old act like a 5-year-old watching like cute animals or whatever, right? Like I don't know who this is marketed to. I'm sorry. Like every time I think about it, it's just really cringe. And it's not like it has any good story writing or anything like that anyways. Um what is this? Marriage ring, a tale or something, tales of wedding rings, right? No, this show's terrible. I don't know why I read the manga for this. I read the manga for this like way back. I'm pretty sure. I actually remember like it was like okay the manga, but I don't know. The anime adaptation was really yeah. Uh, I don't like the character designs. I don't like the really cheesy story writing. I just don't like how this man's like, oh yeah, we have to wait until we get back to the world. Like, I'm sorry, like just do it at this point, you know. Anyways, evil villains day off or something. Uh, it, it's on for me. It's on hold right now, but it's actually a really good show from what I've seen so far. It's a really funny cast, I suppose, despite their lack of like emotions. Which I like characters who lack emotions and stuff. But like I do like the dynamic between the villain and the hero too. It's a very comfy slice of life show. It's a decent show. Now, gushing over Magic Girls is obviously like the peak. Obviously, like come on, guys, it's gushing over Magic Girls. I watched one episode and instantly read the entire manga that's aired so far. Oh my god! And then that final fight with Enormity. Oh my god, it's so good. And when she has like 12 stars on her face and she wrecks ass, and then she just murders everyone. And I love the character anime. I know it's not the best show this season, but like it is the show that I am most excited to watch every single week. Okay, like this is S tier peak etchy, you know, like and it has good story too. Unironically, has good story and character dynamic too, with the villain and the magical girls, of course, and also just between the magical girls and between the villains as well. Like I can't remember her name, the gun girl and the main girl. What the hell was her name? I don't remember the name. I'm bad with names, but anyways, yeah, that show's amazing. Please watch it. The only thing I don't like about this show, okay, the only thing I don't like about this show is Alice. You would think I would like a character like Alice, you know, but I don't like that she wants to be like a mom and then she like feeds children. I'm not into that. I'm sorry. But other than that, that's my only gripe. Mato say hey no slave or change soldier. I actually read the manga for it, but like I dropped this like halfway through both the anime and the manga actually. But I don't know. It's not good. I feel like they didn't explore the world as much as they could have, and the characters just feel kind of generic. And I'm not the biggest fan of like SMM craft, so I don't like the etchy stuff either. So it's just like I don't know. And there's a lot of weird kinks that goes on in this show that I'm just not interested in. And yeah, Undead Unwanted Adventure or something or Skeleton. I don't remember. But I say that's a B. It's definitely better than most isekais, I'd say, because they take a very slow approach to things, which I like slower things, obviously. Basically, this adventurer dies, and then he comes back to life and slowly evolves into like something that could interact with others, I suppose, and then like if you're watching this season, it's kind of similar to Remonster in a sense, but it seems but like Remonster actually goes by pretty fast. This is just a slower Remonster, which I like Remonster and I like this show too. So yeah, uh, the foolish angel dances with the devil. I'm really disappointed with this show. I love the manga for this. I read the manga a long time ago for this. I'm caught up with it. It's one of my favorite mangas of all time, but I just don't think the anime did it justice. It makes a lot of the funny scenes just be really cringe for some reason. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah. I don't want to talk more about that show. I dropped this like halfway through. Panomichi. TPL. Mahjong anime is very, very rare. Okay, and this is one of them. But it, I don't know. It's cute girls doing cute things plus mahjong. You think I like it, but I prefer Saki like a million times more. Even though I know Saki's like very ridiculous in their mahjong games, like it makes it really intense for some reason. And this show takes a more casual approach, which usually I would like more. But this show just doesn't do a very good job at making it interesting. Like they teach you mahjong as if you're like an idiot, which like that's fair because most people don't know mahjong. But as someone who does know how to play Rishi mahjong, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the show. The weakest tamer's journey to I don't remember. The show's so slow and garbage. I'm sorry. I and she's like hilariously like the most generic main character you've ever seen. Oh yeah, I was abandoned by my parents because I didn't have like a good skill or whatever. And then now I'm all alone, but I have like this pet thing or whatever. I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the show. I know it's a lot. I know it would usually be something I would enjoy because it is a slower show. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the cast. Oh yeah, and also the this does not need to be an isekai, by the way. But like there's like two minds in one body, and it's different from other isekais that's supposed to that factor, but like not in a good way. It's definitely not the lowest. It's yeah, sure, whatever. Sasaki and Peeps. The problem with this show is that it tries to do too much. Like at a great premiere, with an hour premiere, right? Introduce like so many cool things into this show, right? But they don't have the time to air everything out, make everything like good, I suppose. Like they ended up rushing a lot of like different stuff. Like they clashed the world of magical girls, the isekai world and the underground world or whatever, right? But I think the concept is amazing, but it's just not done in the best way because it only has 12 episodes and they just try to do too much. Oh god, this show. It's like what the hell was it? My instant death skill makes me overpowered in this world or something. I don't know. Yeah, this show is absolutely terrible. Like, I get it's supposed to be like a comedy thing, where like it's supposed to be a parody of shonens where they have like the most OP characters, but it's just not funny. Like, oh my god, they just do the same like not funny joke where like oh the character has this monologue and he just instantly kills it. However, I do like the backstory with him and his caregiver. I think that's actually unironically like a really sweet backstory. But other than that, the show is like oh my god, and it's a death game too, which like um, most death games are. Yeah, so lovely. This is probably the one that's probably like most controversial for me, but I think it's like a B. Yeah, I think it's like a B. If you read a lot of manhwas like me, Soul Leveling really isn't anything special. In fact, it's probably one of the most generic manhwas you'll ever read. But I mean, it's not its fault because it's kind of is the progenitor of things, right? Like it started a whole trend with the tower and stuff, and not everyone else does it, but like everyone does it. Like most of the ones that does it better than Soul Leveling. So it's like I don't know, and I know anime wise, I suppose it is unique in the anime world if you didn't read any manhwas or whatever. And also, my biggest gripe with the show is that there's just a lot of plot things that just doesn't really make any sense, and it's a lot of just like brain dead action scenes, combat scenes. The things I'm not the biggest fan of, basically. But yeah, it's a B for me. It's not a bad show. I'm just not the biggest fan of action stuff, and most of the show is action. I don't get why they keep teasing these characters that won't appear for like at least two more seasons. Like I don't need to see Cha Hai Ying or something like that, right? Was that her name? I don't remember. Like they keep teasing her, but she's not gonna do anything relevant until like three more seasons, 2 or 3 more seasons later, and even then she's gonna show up for like one scene, maybe another scene a few episodes later, and she's not gonna show up again for the rest of the show. Like she's not a very good character, a developed character in a manhwa. That's to be sure. Uh, level nine. Wait, no, like the strongest tank with the 99999 defense thingy. I don't remember. The show is freaking generic as hell. Yeah, this guy's a shielder. It turns out he could take use all his shield things to do damage, and now he's a damage shielder too, and he's so overpowered and stuff. Yeah, it's generic fantasy. All right, anyways, that's all the anime that I've watched this season. I think it's like 28 or something.